Are you playing Fractures in Time, patch 10.1.5, and enjoying it? Please do not expect me to tell you that you shouldn't be playing, because you should be enjoying the game. And if you're enjoying it, good for you, I honestly mean it. Today I wanted to check in with my World of Warcraft playing crowd and tell you about my plans so that you don't feel like you're forgotten or that I'm never coming back to World of Warcraft, whatever. I am absolutely coming back to World of Warcraft, but today I just wanted to share my honest thoughts as to why I do not find Fractures in Time enticing enough. Perhaps just yet, but this is what it is. Fury Incarnate, though, maybe is going to be quite interesting for me. So at the moment, my plan, too long didn't read, is to come back for 10.1.7. which, according to Wowhead, our friends there, who are doing the job better than anyone else in the industry, is going to happen sometime before Brewfest at the end of September. That is the current speculation, in case you haven't heard, the speculative date for the launch of 10.1.7 Fury Incarnate patch in the fall, as this roadmap is telling us. Well, you can go to Wowhead and take a look at why they think that that is going to be the case. I'm hoping that they're right, because that's a reasonable amount of time between the patches, and we obviously only just had launch of Fractures in Time. Now, why am I not playing Fractures in Time? For a whole bunch of reasons, my friends. First of all, I was one of those people who published similar videos talking to my audience and telling you how excited I was to speculate about what augmentation evoker spec, the third evoker spec, might be. And obviously I was hoping that it's going to be some very creative way to tank. Well, as some of you told me in the comments below that video, those news didn't age particularly well, and Blizzard went a weird, vague way of creating this support class, support DPS class. That is currently seems like it's getting a bit of a varied reception, like experts immediately are drooling over it, and some people obviously pushing the class, the spec to the limits of having 2 unholy DKs. Yes, I saw those news as well. 2 unholy DKs augmented by 22 evokers, or however many augmentation evokers were there, and they were pumping out some ridiculous DPS and melted bosses in the current raid. Honestly, that's fun and good on them. It is the way for them to do Blizzard's job for them, essentially testing the content on Live Realm. And that partially answers your question as to why you're not subscribed, Gyro, as a long-term kind of World of Warcraft veteran. Because I don't want to be Blizzard's tester. If it's a paid content, if it's not a free-to-play game, especially if I'm supposed to pay my subscription for something, and it is not a question of can I afford a spare $20 per month. Of course I can, but at the same time it is a matter of principle. I don't want to test their underbaked content. End of the story. I just do not want. I want to vote with my money, and that part I am definitely encouraging you to consider very seriously. So they are releasing kind of this weird augmentation evoker spec that I'm going to poo-poo too much in this video, but ultimately you know where it's going. I'm not impressed, and I'm not that enticed to pay them now subscription and help them test what they should have tested much better before it hits live service. Yeah, and if I'm looking right now here on the roadmap and I'm looking at Fractures in Time, what's there? First of all, the new Mega Dungeon Dawn of the Infinite is not interesting for me simply because it's harder content, it's longer content, it's a long dungeon, and it currently is available only on Mythic or Mythic Plus difficulty. Don't quote me for it because I'm not subscribed, I don't know. But I'm being told, and I'm watching some other creators that are talking about it being rather difficult, and I want to enjoy myself in the game. I don't want trivial content, but neither do I want to be completely like just, you know, biting my nails as I play a game. That's not why I play games. If you do, please talk to me in the comments down below. I always love exchanging opinions with people who can express express their own thoughts cohesively enough rather than just bash others people's opinions. But I'm not interested in this kind of content. I am waiting for 10.1.7 for Fury Incarnate, where this mega dungeon is going to be available on normal or on heroic difficulty. Not on normal difficulty, but I wanted to say on normal heroic difficulty. So we're just going to be able to queue and enjoy the new content for what it's worth. I think that would be worth at least my $20 to check it out for a month, that patch. So that's fine. Back to Evoker. new evoke augmentation spec. Yeah, I'm kinda interested in checking it out, but am I interested enough to check it out to resub to the game right now, especially as I'm being quite interested in Path of Exile and upcoming first season of Diablo 4, which I'm going to talk about towards the end of this video, because I wanted to focus here on World of Warcraft, and you can just fast forward if you're interested in Diablo and Path of Exile perspective. But I'm basically entertained. I am entertained, which is why I don't think that so far what I said, Mega Dungeon or Evoker spec, are enticing enough to come back. Now let's talk about time rifts. You know that I love open world content, and I actually love the concept of these time rifts and all that kind of stuff. And while time rifts are fun in their own way, and that bit is somewhat enticing for me, I would say that sounds like that they are also underbaked. Sounds like as fun as they are, first of all, it depends which time rift you get loaded into, and some of them are just very, very, very hard to finish, and yeah, and those kind of things. So I get a feeling that it's again part of that under-tested, not particularly well prepared content that also disconnects people and all that kind of stuff. To be honest with you, my friends, I had heaps of fun in the Forbidden Reach. I did, and you saw those videos. I was farming for gear. It was actually one of my more favorite kind of periods in gaming recently, over the recent past, in World of Warcraft anyway. And right now I just do not feel like these fractures in time is something similar, that is going to offer me something similar. As always, I welcome your comments, you know, below the video. We all are entitled to our own opinions. I am not going to bash you if you don't bash me. And micro holidays have always been such as whelp daycare. Look, it's cutesy and all that kind of stuff, and the cutesiness is something that, of course, has always been part of World of Warcraft. I'm not saying it wasn't, but it doesn't mean that I'm supposed to like it, and I never did. I think it's a complete waste of resources, and I am smart enough to understand that it's different sub-teams of World of Warcraft department of Blizzard Entertainment are working on these different features, but I still think that these, let's call them resources, including developer time, including resources to develop certain assets, certain graphical assets and other kind of stuff, I firmly believe that it could be put towards something different. That whelp daycare is just a non-feature for me. Now, there are updates to Warlock races, which is opening, I understand, the Warlock as a class to Draenei race. Draenei race, in case you haven't been following me for a long time, Draenei's are my favorite race. They are my favorite race on Alliance side, and I have been playing Alliance for a long time. On the Horde, in case you want to know, just since we are on topic, my favorite race is Andalari Trolls. But now they are opening Warlocks to Draenei. That's fantastic. To be honest with you, that alone, as little as it might seem to you as a feature, as small as it might seem to you, to me it's very, very, very enticing. So I would actually play the game just for that. I honestly would. Problem is, it's kind of, again, when I look at it, I'm like, well, just what? To do what? To change the Warlock race, give them a bit of money extra to change the race, or to roll another one and give them money for the subscription time that I need to level a new Warlock from 0 to hero. Okay, but the content that new character of mine is going to be consuming is still going to be the same. So I kind of see how finite that direction would be if I was to take it. So hopefully I'm explaining it well enough to you why I'm not yet pulling the trigger. With that being in mind, now we're hearing again, with the help of data mining from Wowhead, that in 10.1.7 Fury Incarnate, Warlocks are going to be taken even to another level, and through a certain quest line from Velen, I understand, we would be able to unlock further customization of Draenei, or maybe an allied race of Eredar, red-skinned, basically Draenei. And I always wanted to be an Eredar Warlock. So I can tell you right now that with just the Eredar being available for Warlocks, and the new Mega Dungeon Dawn of Infinite being available in the form of content that I'm consuming, just in a chilled way after work, just running a heroic here and there, that kind of stuff, I think that plus the new public event of Dream Surges that's hopefully similar to, I don't know, Time Rifts, except taken to yet another level and being perhaps and hopefully a little bit more stable, that is going to make me resub. Now, that is my very simple message to you. That's why I'm not playing right now. That's why I'm going to play when the Fury Incarnate launches, hopefully sometime in September. I promised to those of you who are most patient and who are still listening to me or fast forwarded here, that's okay, no harm done. I am to tell you about what I'm playing right now and my immediate further plans. Obviously, I'm keeping an eye on what's happening in World of Warcraft space, on the news, and that's why I'm checking in with you, my friends. But at the same time, I'm very, very much enjoying Path of Exile. If you want a free action RPG that is very, very complex in itself, but don't let it scare you because you have me. And I have always been producing beginner-friendly guides for all games that I play. Simplified builds, I explain basic things very simply, and you can have a ton of time without paying anything right now. Please join me in Path of Exile. At the very least, give it a shot. That's the first thing I'm encouraging you to do right now. If you feel similarly to me and you're like, yeah, Fractures and Time is a bit meh, or you're unsubbed perhaps already. Secondly, well, I already own Diablo 4. I am not encouraging you to buy Diablo 4 because it's a premium priced game with not much content. That's the end of the story. That's my verdict on Diablo 4 right now. Here you go. I don't need to create a separate video for it. But at the same time, the first season is coming on July the 20th. That's in a couple of days, like in a few days time. I am absolutely, because I already own the game, I'm going to be covering what I personally find for myself and for people who play potentially similar to me, casuals, in Diablo 4 Season 1. In other words, is Season 1 going to enrich Diablo 4 enough to again reignite my interest in the game? So these are Path of Exile right now, Diablo 4 Season 1 in the very, very close future. These are my immediate targets, and that is the content you can expect from me. Path of Exile definitely, for those of you, for a small fraction of you who are a very passionate community and my supporters who are playing Path of Exile, and Diablo 4. But then, of course, once 10.1.7 Fury Incarnate launches, yep, that's when we're going to talk about augmentation of Orca. We're going to revisit some of these topics once all this dust settles and Blizzard has time to clean up after themselves and fix some stuff that should never have hit live service without being thoroughly tested, but lo and behold, it did. Thank you very much for tuning in. I very much appreciate always those subsets of my audience who are hanging in there and commenting and watching my videos while I am sort of hopping between the games in these, let's call them, off seasons for myself. Sometimes I'm not playing World of Warcraft for a bit. I'm playing Path of Exile, then I'm playing Diablo, but you are still all with me, and those of you who are still there, who are still liking the videos, who are still subscribed, I am genuinely seeing you and I am genuinely grateful. I will be speaking with you again about something else very much ARPGs or World of Warcraft related very soon. Videos are continuing to come to you at least at a rate of one video per week. Thank you. Bye for now.